Welcome back. While we've been telling you that it's likely to be a cautious morning of trade, at least to begin with, let's put the spotlight now on individual stocks. Our team is standing by with a top 10 list of stocks to watch out for this morning. Hi, guys. Morning to you. Let's kick it off with Abhishek with what perhaps could be, the stock of the morning, Bajaj Finance. Some breathtaking numbers there in the update, Abhishek.
Well, the business update of Bajaj Finance has shown more than 7% sequential loan growth, and this has come on the back of the fact that even in Q2, the loan growth was north of 7% plus. So AM growth on a YY basis is perhaps the best that you are seeing in last 16 quarters of 4 years, coming in at 34.7%. Cross-sell rate has actually improved to the same customer. Their ability to cross-sell more products, that's increased to 7.5% versus 6.5% in the previous quarter. The new loans are up 25.8% YOY and about 15.6% sequentially. Quarter on quarter, this is the lowest growth that you are seeing in a Q3 in last 4 to 5 years. However, 15.6% is a healthy loan growth. Customer base is up 21.7% YOY and about 5% sequentially. Deposit momentum continues to remain strong, nearly up 35% YOY and about 5.8% sequentially. Liquidity in the balance sheet, that's gone down on a YOY basis, which is on expected line with many NBFCs. 11,600 crore is the liquidity in the balance sheet, which is down 9% YOY, but up about 1.75% on a sequential basis. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. Well, I'm looking at Vedanta, and yesterday, an otherwise weak market where you had the metal index under pressure, Vedanta was one of the only stocks actually that ended in the green. And we had news that came post-market hours that, in fact, the Vedanta Resources, they have got bondholders' consent to restructure 4 series of bonds. That's over the next few years, those bonds that were due. Now, the consent rate that they've got is closer to 97% out of the 100%. The threshold limit is around 67%. So they passed the test out there. The total value of these bonds over the next few years is around $3.8 billion odd. And the series is 2 in 2024, 1 in 2025, and 1 in 2026. So, basically, how does this impact that? It takes off the immediate pressure with regard to debt obligation. So that's good news, right? The only problem is if the debt obligation on the promoter entity is less, then could you be bracing for some lower dividends? Remember, that's been the big story, right? Over the last few years, Vedanta, valuation-wise, it's very attractive. But people have been buying the stock to get this hefty dividend because the promoter himself requires the dividend out there. So that's the flip side to look at it. In terms of their operational update, aluminium as well as power sales, good on them, double-digit growth out there. The problem is they're still not able to ramp up the oil space. But I expect the stock, at least for starters, to open up in the green because getting the consent of the bondholders to restructure some of those bonds that were due in the next few years is obviously good news.
Okay, well, I'm also looking at Bharat Forge this morning, and I think that, that stock could be in the red today because the North American truck sales that have come in for the month of December, the Class A truck orders have been on the weaker side. It's down 7% year on year and down 28% on a month-on-month basis, the December Class A truck orders. Now, the absolute figures come in at 26,620. This is the lowest Class A truck orders that we've seen in the last 4 months. So on that account, I'm going with red for Bharat Forge, for Ramkrishna Forgings as well. But remember, for a company like Bharat Forge, it's a diversified conglomerate. So it has about 12-13% that comes in from the North American truck market. So yes, a little bit of disappointment is what you could see over there. But, keep an eye out on these stocks.
Okay, absolutely. So watch out for some of these stocks in the North American Class A truck manufacturing chain. Back to Abhishek, then we have some more updates, this time from IndusInd Bank and Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. How do they look, Abhishek?
IndusInd Bank growth rate on the business front looks to be on the weaker side. Let me explain how. Deposit growth is at 13.4% YOY and about 2.55% sequentially. So YOY, the growth is the lowest in last 6 quarters and sequential growth is the lowest in last 15 quarters. CASA ratio is the lowest in last 27 quarters or nearly about 7 years, coming in at 38.5% versus 42% YOY and about 39.5% sequentially. The good part in the business update is that the retail term deposit, all the retail deposits have actually shot up by almost 20% YOY and about 5.2% sequentially. Advances growth at 19.8% YOY and about 3.6% sequentially. The growth is the lowest in last 4 quarters on a YOY basis and the lowest in last 8 quarters on a sequential basis. So their CD ratio has improved both YOY and quarter on quarter. So we'll be watching out how this weak business updates gets reaction in the market. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, loan growth remains healthy, asset quality liquidity and CASA has improved. Deposit growth is at 29% YOY and about 2.5% sequentially. CASA ratio has also improved on a sequential basis, and AUM growth is robust at 27% YOY and about 4.5% sequentially. Gross NPA and portfolio at risk both have improved sequentially, so you can see some green tick on the stock today. Back to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. Well, let's hop across to Vivek. He's here to tell us about some more stocks that he's tracking. Vivek?
Well, good morning. The stock on my radar today is IEX. So IEX, what's actually happened is that, the December operational sales numbers have come in. Along with that, the volume numbers for Q3 has come in. And the key takeaway is that, short-term power exchanges are making quite a bit of a comeback in terms of the actual volumes of electricity traded. And along with that, IEX has also managed to garner further market share, so wresting back some of the control that it had in the short-term power market from HPX as well as the other power exchange. So when you're talking about total December volumes, it's up 14.9% on a year-on-year basis, 9,707 million units. Q3 volumes up 17% on a year-on-year basis, so again quite strong. What, however, happened is that the market clearing price, or the price at which it was traded for this particular quarter, has come in at 4.54 rupees a unit, which is down almost 13% on a year-on-year basis. The company says this is due to increased sell-side liquidity seen as far as the exchanges are concerned, and they attribute it to favorable policy as well as regulatory interventions. Now, what they're saying is that going forward, sell-side liquidity is expected to further improve, leading to a further decline as far as power prices are concerned on the exchange. This means there could be more volumes as far as short-term power market is concerned.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, Sonal is with us. She is going to talk about the top stocks in the news this morning. Sonal, what's on your list?
Good morning, Sonia. 4 stocks on my radar. Let me start with Chambal Fertilisers. The company will be considering a buyback on January 8th. So basically, there's a board meeting then. That stock should see some green today. We have Dr. Reddy's on our radar because they've acquired Menu Labs business from Amaris, which is a women's health and dietary supplement branded portfolio from Amaris. They have acquired entire Menu Labs supplements portfolio. So that stock will be in focus. We do not know what consideration it is, but yes, this stock will be on our radar. We have SAIL, which is in focus because divestment of Salem Steel has been called off by the centre. This is third unit of SAIL whose divestment has been put on hold. Lastly, BGR Energy. The company says that SBI and Central Bank have classified the company's account as an NPA, and total exposure to SBI is around 2,060 crore rupees, to Central Bank is 74 crore rupees. However, they go on to say that they have been regular in servicing interest and other charges to SBI and Central Bank, but that stock should see some pressure.
Okay, all right. Sonal got that. Thank you very much for putting those stocks on our radar. Let's quickly recap the list then. The ones that have positive news flow around them are Bajaj Finance, Vedanta, IndusInd Bank, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, IEX, Chambal Fertilisers and Dr. Reddy's Labs. While stocks that have negative news flow around them are Bharat Forge, SAIL and BGR Energy Systems. That's our list, the stocks that we'll watch out for. Now let's turn our eyes to interesting brokerage notes of the morning. We have Sudarshan joining in with that. Sudarshan, what's looking interesting to you? What stocks on the radar?
In brokerages today, I have 3 stocks. First one is HSBC on Adani Ports. It has a buy call. Target is raised to 1250 from 920 per share. It says Supreme Court order should cement investor confidence. Verdict should renew company's expansion and shift focus to its solid operations performance. Company may be more open to inorganic opportunities and gearing its balance sheet. HSBC expects 17% CAGR in EBITDA over FY 23-26, and it says return on invested capital will rise from 13% in FY 23 to 17% in FY 26. Next one is MS on Indian Hotels. It has an overweight call. Target is raised to 490 from 450 per share. It sees continued double-digit growth in industry, and ramp-up of Ginger, Mumbai and trends in RevPAR will be key to track. Last one is MS on TMT sector. TMT is technology, media and telecommunication. In internet space, Zomato is top pick. Target is raised to 150 from 140 per share. It says after a strong 2023, it sees merit in being more selective in 2024. Also, earnings momentum holding up well should support multiples for internet group. In IT, it has become more selective, and in telecom, it sees limited upside. In the IT sector, it has an overweight call on Infosys and CN, and underweight on Wipro, Tech Mahindra, LTTS, and Tata Elxsi. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Sudarshan. Well, let's wind this down then with Manisha, who's joining to tell us what all's going on with commodity prices overnight. Morning, Manisha. Crude oil prices spike, right?
Oh, well, yes, 3 to 4% on the higher side for crude prices for both the varieties, and that is after shutdown of an oil field called Sharara. This is in Libya, and there are some protests happening there. Now, Sharara produces 300,000 barrels per day, and this immediate shutdown has had premium in prices. In any case, the markets were dealing with the Red Sea tensions, which have been keeping the prices on the higher side. In addition to that, you also have the U.S. crude inventories, which have declined by 7.4 million barrels in the previous week. This is double the number than what the street was anticipating. So that also is showing in prices. The OPEC and allies, in the meanwhile, have announced a meeting on 1st of Feb to talk about the supply and the demand projections for this quarter and the next as well. So that is something that the street will keep an eye on. While the crude prices are up, can't say that about the metals because it's another day when Asia has opened on a weaker side for the metal prices. Copper is now trading at a 2-week lows. We've seen aluminum and zinc also decline by 0.5 to 1% in early trades.
All right. Thanks a lot, Manisha, for that. Well, let's slip into a quick break. On the other side of the break, Dipan Mehta of Elixir Equities will join in for some stock talk. Do stay tuned in.